Have you ever wondered in those moments when you decide to step back, to stop actively seeking, to stop texting or calling, if that person ever, even for a fleeting moment, misses you? Does your silence act like a mirror, reflecting your value in their eyes, or does it simply open the door to the freedom they've always desired? Today, we'll take a stroll into the psychological maze of that person, exploring the complex emotional spectrum they might experience when you're no longer a frequent presence in their life. From the initial surprise of not seeing your messages or calls, to the confusion of wondering if they did something wrong, and perhaps a vague longing, a nameless emptiness, or even regret for not appreciating what you brought to their life. But remember, the journey we embark on today is not just a guide to make someone miss you. It is also a journey of self-discovery and personal growth, allowing you to become the best, most confident, and most admirable version of yourself, so that when you do return, they will not only miss you for your absence, but also for the magnetism, maturity, and value you have cultivated in that time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Watch this video until the end to better understand the power of silence and how it can help you become the best version of yourself, because sometimes it is in our absence that we truly shine the brightest. Before we unlock these secrets, I want to invite you to a small challenge to set the stage for the journey ahead. If you're ready to step into your power and let your silence speak volumes, leave a comment below with the phrase, "My silence will be the loudest answer." This isn't just a statement, it's an affirmation of your strength, determination, and commitment to becoming an unforgettable version of yourself. Imagine you're a favorite song, a familiar melody that always plays in someone's life. Your presence brings joy, comfort, and a sense of belonging. But then one day, that song abruptly stops. Silence fills the air, leaving a void that's hard to fill. They start to notice the difference, acutely feeling the absence of the melody that was once an integral part of their life. Now, let's lift the veil together and explore the 6 psychological stages a person might go through when you cease contact. This will be a fascinating journey to understand the power of silence and how it can impact others. But remember, the principles we discuss today aren't just tricks to make someone miss you. They're also stepping stones for you to become someone others must respect and admire, someone remembered not for their disappearance, but for the strength and allure they gained in their absence. This is your moment to rise, to show them and yourself that your worth is immeasurable. Your silence, like a familiar melody suddenly cut short, leaves an incredible emptiness, making them feel confused and lost. A flood of unanswered questions starts dancing in their minds. What did I do wrong? Why did they suddenly disappear? Did I accidentally say something that hurt them? Or have they found someone better? In this constantly connected world, where text messages and phone calls seem like an essential part of life, your sudden silence feels like an earthquake, shaking all their assumptions and expectations. They were used to having you there, always ready to listen, share, and care. Your presence, like a light always shining, brought them a sense of security and love. But now, that light has gone out, leaving them floundering in the dark, unsure of which way to turn. Imagine you are like an umbrella shielding them in an unexpected storm. They had grown accustomed to leaning on you, seeking comfort and shelter under that umbrella. But then one day, you quietly close the umbrella, leaving them standing in the pouring rain. This sudden change makes them feel powerless and bewildered. They start questioning themselves, blaming themselves for not being strong enough to stand on their own, and above all, they feel the loss of your absence, the person they once trusted and depended on. Your silence, whether accidental or intentional, has become a powerful catalyst, pushing them into a profound inner journey. They are forced to confront their actions and decisions, reflect on how they treated you, and perhaps, for the first time, they truly recognize your value, not through your words, but through your very absence. Each morning when they wake up, there is no longer the familiar ping of a loving message from you, no more thoughtful inquiries about a new day. The breakfast table feels emptier without the humorous texts you used to send, and the morning coffee tastes colder without your "have a great day" wishes. Every evening the room becomes strangely quiet, with no more hours-long video calls or whispered conversations before sleep. Your silence feels like a thick fog that envelops their world, making everything seem distant and unclear. They miss the way you would send them a new song whenever you discovered something exciting, miss those evenings when you patiently listened to them vent, and miss even the little surprises when you showed up with a small gift just to see them smile. In such situations, many begin to realize that they did not truly appreciate your presence while you were still around. This realization can trigger a complex array of thoughts and emotions, from feelings of regret to new understandings of what you brought into their lives. Regret is a natural, psychological response when someone feels they have lost something valuable that they previously did not recognize. When they no longer receive your attention, love, or support, they might start to feel a huge void in their life. This emptiness is not just about the absence of your physical presence, but also relates to the emotional and spiritual connections that once existed. They may remember the joyful moments, the deep conversations, and even the arguments that helped them understand themselves and you better. These memories, when viewed in solitude, may become far more precious than they were when they happened. Moreover, this feeling of regret often comes with a process of self-reflection and reevaluation of the relationship. During the period of silence and your absence, they might begin to question their past actions and decisions. They may wonder if they were not sincere enough, caring enough, or patient enough to keep you around. These questions not only help them gain a clearer perspective on the relationship, but also force them to confront their own mistakes. This process can lead to a range of emotional reactions, from sorrow and remorse to a desire to make amends and change. In this reevaluation, they may begin to recognize the values you brought to the relationship. Things that they may have taken for granted before now become clear and appreciated. They may realize that you were not just a companion in life, but also someone who offered support, encouragement, and even challenges that helped them grow. They see that you brought new perspectives, diversity in thinking, and rich experiences that are not easily found in others. The qualities that they once saw as obvious, like patience, loyalty, or sincerity, now stand out in their memories, making them reconsider the true worth of the relationship. Left in silence, they are no longer the weak and resigned person they once were. Instead, a powerful instinct to conquer begins to arise within them, pushing them into a silent but determined battle to regain your attention. They do not sit idly by, enduring the pain. Instead, they use every means possible to create a presence in your mind. Seemingly harmless questions, expressions of feigned concern, or even unexpected intimate gestures appear suddenly. All of these are carefully set up as subtle traps, hoping you will fall for them and come back, Yet behind that calm and confident exterior lies a tumultuous and anxious soul. They long for you to return while also fearing that their suspicions might be true. This contradiction plunges them into an emotional whirlwind, where every look, gesture, and word from you becomes evidence to be meticulously analyzed. They're like a detective in a mysterious case trying to find clues to determine if you still have feelings. They yearn for a sign, a word, or even the smallest action from you to confirm that their feelings are still valued and meaningful. However, this is precisely the moment when you need to be more clear-headed and steadfast than ever. Maintaining your stance and not being swayed by their efforts is crucial to protect your dignity and self-respect. If you have decided to keep your distance and no longer wish to pursue this relationship, be firm in that decision. Do not let sweet words, seemingly sincere gestures, or even their tears make you change your mind. Remember, your decision did not come from a momentary emotion, but from valid and practical reasons. You deserve to be respected and treated sincerely, not through psychological games or emotional manipulation. Furthermore, do not rush to concede or go back just because they show regret or a desire to reconcile. Give yourself the necessary time to observe and assess whether the changes on their part are truly genuine, or if it is just another tactic to regain your attention. Remember, time is the best medicine to test a person's feelings and sincerity. Only time can help you discern what is real and what is merely a facade of pretense. Therefore, be patient and carefully observe every action, gesture, and attitude they show towards you. Do they truly value your feelings, or do they see you as just a game, a victory to satisfy their ego? Quite often, after regaining a man's attention, some people may easily revert to an indifferent and dismissive attitude. Hence, it is crucial to allow enough time to see how they treat you once their initial efforts have achieved their goal. While keeping your distance and waiting can be very painful and difficult, it is a necessary challenge to protect yourself. Always remember that safeguarding your dignity and self-respect is far more important than chasing fleeting emotions. Do not let yourself be drawn into a relationship based on manipulation and psychological games, where you are constantly questioning your worth and the sincerity of the other person's feelings. Give yourself the opportunity to find true love, where you are respected, loved, and valued for who you truly are. Only then can you be truly happy and feel your genuine worth in a meaningful relationship. When you stop reaching out, it is not merely an act of cutting off communication, but also a powerful message that forces the other person to reflect on themselves and their relationship with you. For them, it is an opportunity to reevaluate what truly matters, to see more clearly what was there, and sometimes to feel regret for not having valued you enough. During this process, they might realize that your presence brought irreplaceable value, and losing you might be one of the biggest lessons about love and human connection they have ever experienced. Realizing what has been lost, some people may make efforts to restore the relationship. They might reach out again, express remorse, or even propose specific changes to renew the relationship. However, these changes do not always succeed, as it also depends on you, the one who decided to stop contacting. If you feel that your values and beliefs no longer align with that relationship or that you have found your own path, their efforts may not be enough to convince you to return. On the other hand, this process also offers them a chance to better understand themselves. In facing regret and reassessing the relationship, they may learn valuable lessons about how to appreciate those around them, how to maintain a relationship, and how to reflect on themselves. This could encourage them to grow, learn to communicate better, and become more grateful for what they have. They might realize that affection and connection are not things to be taken lightly or for granted, but need to be nurtured and cared for every day. Now, with everything reduced to memories, they feel a terrifying emptiness, a loneliness creeping into every corner of their life. They miss your smile, your warm hugs, and the sincere words of encouragement you gave them. They regret not cherishing those moments more and not expressing their love when they had the chance. Your silence, whether intentional or accidental, has become a painful reminder of what they have let slip away. When they no longer receive a response from you, they might start worrying and wondering if you are okay, if something has happened to you, or if something is going wrong that they do not know about. This worry is not limited to simple concern. It can escalate into bigger fears as they imagine negative scenarios that might have occurred. For example, if you were once the person who frequently initiated texts or calls, your sudden silence could make them feel like something unusual is happening, even hinting at a serious problem. This situation becomes even more complex when anxiety remains unresolved. Not knowing the reason behind your sudden silence, they might start questioning themselves, wondering if they did something wrong. They might replay recent conversations, searching for the slightest clues that could have led to this silence. Feelings of insecurity creep in, and they might start questioning whether the relationship still matters to you. For instance, someone might recall a minor disagreement and wonder if that's the reason you've stopped contacting them. They might replay these scenarios in their heads, trying to find answers to questions they can't directly ask you. This prolonged anxiety can gradually lead to feelings of low self-esteem. Without any feedback or explanation from you, they might start doubting their own worth. They wonder if they are good enough for you to want to stay in touch. Thoughts like, did I do something wrong, or am I not important enough to them, start to surface. For those who already struggle with low self-esteem, this feeling can intensify, turning into a vicious cycle of self-doubt and anxiety. For example, a close friend might start comparing themselves to other people in your life, wondering if you found someone better, more interesting, or more compatible. They might feel that they are not interesting enough, not caring enough, or even not important enough for you to keep in touch. Sometimes this insecurity can lead to uncontrolled actions. They might start seeking validation from others to bolster their self-esteem. For instance, they might start asking mutual friends about you, trying to find out if you're talking about them, or even checking your social media activity to see if you're active without involving them. These actions are not only manifestations of insecurity, but also a way for them to try to control the situation and seek answers to their unanswered questions. However, feelings of anxiety and low self-esteem don't always lead to negative actions. Sometimes it can be a motivation for them to reflect on themselves and the relationship. They might start evaluating how they've treated you, whether they truly appreciated and understood you. These questions, although initially stemming from anxiety, can lead to positive changes in how they approach their relationships. For example, they might decide that instead of worrying and doubting, they will strive to become a better friend, partner, or colleague. They might learn to communicate more clearly, listen more attentively, and show genuine care towards the people around them. On the other hand, this anxiety and insecurity can also help them gain a deeper understanding of their own needs and desires. They might realize that they need validation from others to feel secure, and this isn't always a strength. This process can help them build self-esteem from within instead of relying on the words or actions of others. For instance, someone might realize that their happiness and peace shouldn't be entirely dictated by whether someone else wants to stay in touch. They can learn to love themselves and accept that not everyone will always be there for them. While feelings of anxiety and low self-esteem can be a natural reaction when someone stops contacting them, it also presents opportunities for learning and growth. For the person on the receiving end of the silence, it's a time to recognize their true worth, not just based on the approval of others, but also from within themselves. For you, the one who decided to stop contacting them, this can help you understand your impact on others and reevaluate the relationships you want to maintain. In any case, silence is not just an end to communication, but also a process of self-discovery and gaining a deeper understanding of one's relationship with the world around them. Moreover, your sudden silence can feel like a devastating blow, leaving them in shock. The delicate feelings of early affection, fragile like petals in the wind, are easily wounded by coldness and indifference. They wonder, asking themselves hundreds of questions about this silence. Are you going through a tough time, or have you simply lost interest? Yet every answer they come up with only adds to their confusion and pain. Disappointment slowly creeps into their soul, causing them to doubt themselves and the new emotions they have developed. They wonder if they were too hasty, if they misinterpreted the signals from you. The sweet words and tender gestures of the past now haunt them like ghosts, reminding them of a bright future that once seemed within reach, but has now faded away. For example, every time you spoke words of care or gently touched their hand, they imagined happy days together. But now, everything seems like a mere illusion. Even though the pain may not be as deep as when in a profound love, it is still enough to leave scratches on their heart. They feel they were too naive to place all their trust and hope in someone who did not deserve it. In their mind, they tell themselves they need to be stronger and learn how to protect their heart from such wounds. Perhaps at that moment they recall the first time they anxiously picked up their phone, waiting for a message from you, only to be met with hopeless silence. Yet despite trying to dismiss these thoughts, they cannot help but hold on to hope. They hope for a reasonable explanation, a sincere reason for your silence. They long for a miracle to happen, so they can continue nurturing these new and beautiful emotions. But then, as time passes and your silence persists, they gradually come to understand the harsh truth. Perhaps you never intended to take things further, and in that moment, they decide to let go, not because their feelings have faded, but because they begin to recognize their own worth. They realize that love should not be about pleading or waiting in vain, but about respecting themselves and seeking those who truly deserve them. They understand that they deserve to be appreciated and to have their feelings reciprocated, not to be subjected to torment and suffering. Choosing to move forward, they leave behind the painful memories, gradually heading toward a brighter future where they can find true happiness. In some situations, a person may choose not to communicate directly or clarify what is happening. Instead of reaching out, they opt for a different approach. Observing from a distance, quietly watching your actions through social media, or by frequently appearing at places you often visit. They may decide not to text, call, or directly inquire, but rather silently gather information and draw their own conclusions. This silence is not a sign of indifference or avoidance, but a subtle strategy to reassess the situation and better understand your true feelings towards them. During this period of observation, their mind is caught in a whirlwind of questions and thoughts. They meticulously analyze every post, every photo, and even every word you use, trying to decipher signals that might reveal what is happening in your life and heart. For example, when you post a picture with friends, they might wonder if you are truly happy without them, or if it's just a way to hide your true feelings. They look for signs to determine whether you miss them, are looking for someone new, or genuinely feel content without them. Every like, every comment you make on social media is carefully interpreted, sometimes to the point of obsession, to find clues that confirm or deny their doubts and speculations. Not only do they stop at passive observation, but they might also actively engage with your posts and photos on social media, showing indirect interest. They may like your photos, leave humorous or suggestive comments, or share posts they believe would interest you. For instance, if you share a favorite song, they might post a similar song on their profile as a subtle way to show they still care and pay attention to your preferences. They might also try to provoke you by posting vague statuses, quotes, or articles that allude to memories only the two of you would understand. Sometimes, they even engage in a silent competition with you, appearing prominently and attractively on social media, posting beautiful, captivating images to catch your attention, hoping you will notice them once again. In such situations, the best approach for you is to maintain your stance and not actively pursue them, as doing so can make things more complicated and unpredictable. Patience is essential to allow everything to unfold naturally and avoid the temptation to initiate contact, which could be misinterpreted or create false expectations. Let them decide whether they want to take a step further, reconnect, and rebuild the relationship with you. Ultimately, through this silent observation, their true feelings and intentions may gradually become clearer. If they genuinely care and want to come back, they will find a way to express it more clearly and specifically, perhaps through an unexpected call, an invitation to meet, or even a sincere apology. On the other hand, if they have no intention of returning or lack the resolve to do so, keeping your distance and not pursuing them will help you avoid unnecessary pain. Rather than chasing after vague signals, you should spend your time and energy on things that truly matter in life, where you are loved and valued sincerely. To be honest, stopping your pursuit of someone does not guarantee they will come back to you. Sometimes the reality can be much harsher, and it's possible they may not even care about your absence. Don't delude yourself into thinking that distance will magically fix everything. A person will only seek you out if they truly have feelings. If they seem indifferent and apathetic, it's a clear sign that you should not waste your time and effort on a one-sided relationship. They may become cold and distant, no longer interested in what you do, where you go, or who you meet. Your messages may be left on read with no reply, your calls may be rejected, and all your efforts to capture their attention may be ignored. Don't fool yourself into thinking they are playing hard to get or testing you. The harsh truth is that they are no longer interested. Distance is not always the solution. Persistently chasing someone who only gives you scraps of attention is essentially devaluing yourself. You deserve someone who cherishes every moment with you, someone willing to share and listen to you. Don't let yourself get stuck in a cycle of waiting and false hope. Face the truth, no matter how difficult it may be. Be strong enough and have enough self-respect to recognize when it is time to move on. Don't let yourself become someone's game. You deserve to be loved, respected, and valued, not taken lightly or mistreated. Hold your head high, walk away, and seek a true love where you are treated according to your worth. Never settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. You have spent your entire life chasing others, trying to gain their attention, affection, and validation. You believed this was the path to happiness, but in reality, it only left you feeling empty and exhausted. So what if you stopped? What if you redirected that energy toward yourself, nurturing your soul and developing yourself? I know this might be frightening, because perhaps your whole life has revolved around pursuing others. But trust me, amazing things can happen when you stop chasing others and start focusing on yourself. You will discover a stronger, more confident version of yourself. Your worries and insecurities will gradually fade away, replaced by peace and contentment. You will have time to pursue your passions, develop yourself, build meaningful relationships, and enjoy life on your own terms. Let me show you the wonderful things that can happen when you stop chasing others and embark on a journey of self-discovery and self-love. When you decide to step back, to stop actively seeking them out, to cease the flow of messages and calls, you're not merely creating a void in their life. You're also opening a new door for yourself, a door to self-awareness and growth. For the other person, your sudden silence acts as a mirror reflecting the true emotions hidden deep within their heart. Do they genuinely miss you? Miss the shared moments, the laughter, and even the playful disagreements? Or do they simply miss the familiar feeling of having you around, a presence they've unknowingly taken for granted? In those uncertain moments when the good morning texts and nightly calls fade away, they may begin to realize that your affection and care were not to be taken for granted. Perhaps they overlooked the small gestures of love, the sincere words of encouragement, or simply the empathetic ear you always lent. Now, with all that gone, they truly grasp their value, feeling the emptiness and coldness left by your departure. However, the ultimate goal of this isn't to manipulate their emotions or make them desperately miss you. More importantly, it's an opportunity for you to reflect on yourself, to understand your own worth, to know when to let go, and to reserve your love for those who truly deserve it. Let this silence be the starting point for a new journey, a journey of self-love, self-discovery, and the pursuit of true happiness. Because sometimes distance isn't the end, but a chance for both of you to look back, to see more clearly what truly matters, and to grow in love and life.